Hello, everybody. You're very welcome to a new 7 minutes here on ITSPmagazine, a short brand story, where we're going to talk about multi-cloud today, coming to you live from SecTor in Toronto. I'm here with Michael Mychalczuk.
Well done.
Look at that.
Well done.
2 points to me for getting that. Michael, brief couple words about you and your role at OpenText.
Well, thank you for having me on your podcast. Appreciate that. So I'm the Director of Product Management for ArcSight, which for most of your listeners, they'll be familiar with as a longtime SIM from what you and I were talking about. So yes. I've done that, and I've been a product manager. Prior to that, I worked for a telco in the United States, T-Mobile. Sprint, now T-Mobile, right. And worked. So I moved from IT operations to security to now my role here as a director of product management.
Nice one. And you were on a panel today talking about multi-cloud, and you by far were the most vocal, and I think the audience was receptive to that as well. Can you give me a view of kind of the state of multi-cloud, what some customers are dealing with
right
there?
Yeah, so when we look at our customers, we see a trait that I think many would follow, and that is they originally did not want to go down that road. They wanted to be in one cloud if they could possibly get away with it. However, when you looked at like how Microsoft has done with how they've moved all the Windows products into Azure, kind of have forced people into that realm. You see kind of the things with Google making a big push on AI, or by mergers and acquisitions, more and more organizations are just getting forced to having to deal with that problem. And so now all of a sudden their on-premise state, however big that was, now they've got a minimum of one, and more increasingly, they're like Noah's Ark. They've got one of everything, it seems like, and now they've got at least all three of them in there somewhere. So we see this happening, and we see customers really struggling on how to handle this sudden explosion.
So years ago, I always thought you might deal with the technology in terms of lifting and shifting and getting stuff from one place to another, and some transition or transformation there. And that would require different talent and different skills. So talk to me about how does that look today?
So now what it is no one person can know all of this, okay? And we all remember the people in our past who wanted to be the know-it-alls, okay? You can't do it anymore. So what I see more and more of our customers, and even what I'm having to do with our teams, is really partner as security operations professionals with our IT operations teams. Because why? They're having to learn this. They've got those expertise. And now how do we use those relationships to work together? And
for me, there's so much involved, even just managing one cloud.
Right.
But now managing multiple, you have the deployment, you're building stuff, you're maintaining it.
Right.
There are technologies to kind of shim and work across them. Where do you see some of the biggest challenges?
So it's funny because the security professionals, we've gone out of our way to try to reduce the attack surface as much as we can. And now the business is shoving multiple clouds on us and just exponentially blowing it back up again. One of the key areas that I see there is around how do you deal with all the human factor? And what I mean by, so like I said in the call or on the stage today, pick your battles. Pick the ones the hills you've got to die on. So for me, the big thing that I tell people is you're not going to understand all the ins and outs of the clouds. Understand the key things. Start with identity. If you can't control who has access and in what role they have access, everything else underneath it's going to fail. Start there. Find your key your technical controls. Make sure all of your clouds have those. Don't try to solve world hunger. Automate your templates so that your business partners can self-deploy, but they will always deploy consistently. One of my mentors who taught me architecture said the minute you have a single human being involved in a process, you have 100% chance of failure.
I wrote that quote down. I was going to do a post for that.
Yeah.
But so we how can we, the human factor, of course, but how can we leverage technologies? Obviously, there's Kubernetes and containers and things like that.
So I think we are embracing that. So one of the things is when on your site, spend time thinking about how to secure the container. Okay, really give that some thought, because remember, if you get the container security right, lots of other problems kind of solve themselves because of the nature of the container. So invest there. Invest in the automations of deployments. You know what you need to deploy in a secure air way. Be vigilant on those and don't compromise on that. Look, it's going to be boring for your roadmap to say, make this so we don't get shot, but the benefits later on are worth it. So organize there, use technology there, use monitoring like tools like ArcSight, like some others. There are other options you can choose. But why? Because we know how to monitor these disparate environments and help you detect the threat and respond to it more effectively.
So in the spirit of enabling business to succeed securely, how do you see the cloud continuing to transform businesses, and how does security play a role in there? And maybe more pointedly, some of the stuff you do with OpenText to help.
So I definitely see cloud as being something in the foreseeable future that companies have to deal with. Do I think cloud makes anything more or less secure? No. But do I think it helps in the delivering business? Yes. Business? Yes. For us, I will wrap it up like this. I would say, know where you are in your maturity as a security operations team. Punch at your weight. Get help on the areas that you don't know. And really line that up carefully. Because now, if you've got that, and now you can be a business enabler. You can help your business partners deliver the services at the speed of business and help them be more successful.
Speed of business. That's what it's all about.
It is.
And speaking of speed, that's 7 minutes here on ITSP Magazine. Thanks so much, Michael.
My pleasure.